Crawley versus Cummings. Stokes versus Stark.
What a hit!
Bazball versus Boland.
Take the bow, what a shot!
A sporting rivalry that will never die. This is Following On, Ashes Inquest on talkSPORT 2.
It is Following On Ashes Inquest. I'm Jon Norman alongside Steve Harmison for the next 25 minutes or so. Available on the Following On podcast feed, or you're watching us on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel, or via talkSPORT 2 on the old wireless or DAB+. Harmy, where do you begin? It's been another one of those days. England bowled really poorly at times, but also created enough chances to bowl Australia out, but didn't bowl Australia out because their fielding wasn't as good as Australia's. Australia kind of played old school cricket, partnerships all the way, all the batters got to start. Here we are at the end of day 2, Australia leading by 44. But if they're knocked over tomorrow inside half an hour, game on.
Yeah, game on. But it has to be within half an hour.
Yeah,
because any longer than that, we're looking at 65, 70 run lead, and we're also looking at time. And I think the big key thing is there when you say a half an hour, that what do you talk about ping pong test matches? You know, can you earn the right to bowl at times when it's difficult for the opposition? And if if Australia bat for more than half an hour tomorrow, England are not only going to have a huge deficit, they're going to have probably the hardest time to bat with the pink ball, then the lights start taking effect. So look, today, it was a really tough one because they've worked so hard. As a bowler myself, I know exactly where Bryden Carr's at, being so expensive, picking up wickets, running in, charging in, bowling to a plan. I'm not going to go batters versus bowlers and batters versus the bowlers versus the fielders. They created 11 chances. England were nowhere near good enough for the ball today. Nowhere near good enough. No. And that, no matter what anybody wants to say, from the England camp, Ben Stokes, Brendan McCullum, Rob Key, when you talk about preparation, when everybody's sort of mentioned the preparation leading into it, preparation, today that's come home to roost. It has. England have bowled 73 overs, and they look as though they've been in the field for 3 days. They look as though they've been in the field for 3 days. They bowled 71 overs. And that comes with hardness of body, being in the field, getting used to being out there. But as Brendan McCullum said, he wouldn't send a racehorse. He's a big racehorse man. He wouldn't send a racehorse round a track for the sake of sending it round a track. You put bowlers in fields in preparation for days like today. 30 degrees heat, decent humidity. To field for a whole day, that's not even a whole day in the field. And England, whether you want to say it's concentration, preparation, patience, whatever, game plan, you want to name it. That there has gone awry because England couldn't put 3-4 balls in the right area together. I mean, some of the pitch maps were scattergun. They might have created 11 chances. They've only taken 6. They've gone at 5.5 and over. And that largely down to being a bit rusty. Apart from first innings in Perth, England, I think England have conceded, up to lunch, England have conceded something like 350 and 50 overs. Now that whether you want to sort of, how you want to pick the bones out of that, it's nowhere near good enough. And for me, it comes down, this is the time it's come down to preparation.
Michael Taylor on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel says they haven't been good enough with the ball 2 innings out of the 3, which backs up what you were just saying there. I mean, it is disappointing. And if not for that Cameron Green brain fade, I think Australia have already won the Ashes. Yeah,
100%.
The other thing with preparation, Sir Alistair Cook said this on TNT, there's preparation for the bowlers playing in pink ball test cricket. There's preparation for the batters, of course. What about for the fielders? 5 catches going down today. 5. And you'd have to say Jamie Smith with the drop of Travis Head when he was on 3. Ben Duckett, normally one of the most reliable fielders I've ever, well, certainly in the modern game. The drop of Carey, first ball. And the one of Carse at mid-wicket. Was it mid-wicket? No, it wasn't. It was a cover.
No, it was cover.
Yeah, from Michael Neser, right-hander. You know, those chances, they get caught 99 times out of 100. I'm not even saying 8 out of 10. I'm not saying 9 out of 10. They should be taken.
Yeah, I'll pick something up on that, John.
Go on.
Jamie Smith, this is what Ashes cricket does to you. Anybody want to say about the pressure and what's the difference between playing New Zealand away at the Hagley Oval, when everything's nice and green and
they put down the chances as well.
Yeah. But when the Ashes is on, in the pressurised situation, Jamie Smith's got naught, dropped a catch.
Yeah.
It wasn't a difficult catch, but you could see he got his hands in the wrong place.
It bounced. It was fast. The ball was hard. It did. But you catch that as a keeper. Ben
Duckett got naught, dropped 2 catches. You know, the pressure of not doing your job, and everything that comes with the cauldron of the Gabba and heat and humidity. And Bryden Carr's dropped a catch after bowling 19 overs. And I remember in my second Ashes Test match at Perth, I think I don't think I was at middle. I think I was at long on. I was in between. And I mean, it came to me underarm right at the end of the day. I think it was off Brett Lee. And I mean, it didn't even hit me hands. And to this day, I still don't know how I even got anywhere near it. I mean, I was gone. Physically and mentally, I was knackered. This was when I was 23 years old. This is my third Test match, second Ashes Test match. And the ball hit me in the knee, and it went straight through. Like that, all the way through. I think even Suckeriem was like Taxi for Harmison on that. Remember that feature in the morning?
Yeah.
I didn't even get a hand on it, and it was right at the end of the day. I'm not defending Bryden.
No.
But I can see it happening because
he has just bowled 17 overs. He has just bowled 17 overs as well.
Yeah. So I can understand that one. But I'm talking about the pressure of the Ashes, the battle, the cauldron, and the pressure of everything that goes with it. Yeah. You've got 2 players who have got naught, dropped 3 catches, 4 catches between them. I still think that Root one wasn't Root, it's Smith's. That's a Smith's catch.
Yeah.
That's not Joe Root's. If you're standing at slip,
if it goes to your right,
you're always going to your right as a slip fielder.
Can I also say one other thing with that catch? You know, that ball goes anywhere but there. I mean, he advances down the track. He swings for the hills. The ball very rarely goes between wicketkeeper and slip. You know, and
the keeper should take it.
It's the keepers. Yeah, I agree. But, you know, and it really was one of those ones. When you see the camera at the back, it splits them in half. It is just one of those. But by that point, it's like what you were saying yesterday with the bowlers. Yeah. You know, these guys have been up since 7:30, 8 o'clock. They may not. They might have had a fitful night's sleep. They might have been thinking back at the innings from yesterday. Whether you're Joe Root with 100 or you're Jamie Smith with naught, you're still buzzing. There's still stuff going around. You're thinking about it. Then you're up early. Maybe you're up at 6. You know, they've just come from Perth as well. Different time zone.
Time zones, yeah.
So, there's all of this. And then it's like pushing, I don't even know what time it is in Brisbane. 10 o'clock?
It'd be 10, 10:30. But look. And it comes with preparation. It comes with acclimatization. It comes with having every stone, every stone unturned, which you can possibly think that you could go wrong, or you need to make sure that is right. And
well, that's
it came home to roost today.
Yeah, well, look, we're getting a lot of reaction on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel chat facility. I mean, I can't read all of them, but Slackboy72 says it's going to be warmer tomorrow. That was another point that was coming through. It's going to be another. If they're knackered now, they could have another hour and a half tomorrow in the blazing Brisbane sun. You know what it's like. I know what it's like to be a fan in the Brisbane sun, and that is hard enough as it is. But to be playing out there, chasing the ball around the park, big park as well. Rush goal 1-0 says, lack of preparation is shocking. Rob Key and McCullum and Stokes must be sacked. Pluto 102 says, laugh. You know what? England's getting thrashed 4-0. Somebody messaged me when Cast came back just before he took those 2 wickets, actually, because he went for about 14 from his first over or so, 20 from 2, said 5-0 Australia. The Aussies gifted them a few wickets. If not for Cam Green's poor shot selection in that span of play, England were down and out. That's the point I made as well. And then, of course, the big question, how many runs do you think Australia will need before it becomes, well, it says a problem here from Kieran. I mean, it already is a problem, but how many is too many? And factor in the time as well, because that's the other element to all this, as you say, because They need most of that morning session to draw level. You don't want to be going out to bat after whatever the first break is, still in a deficit, or maybe 10 ahead with 2 or 3 wickets down. That just does not bode well, does it?
No, it doesn't. And I think what England have got to do is I think 44 is a problem at this moment in time. I think if Australia were all out, which probably should have been, with a 44-run lead, I still think that's a problem. That is a problem. Australia have got to bat last on a surface which we've seen 1 or 2 misbehave, but not much. It's still a decent wicket to bat on. So I think from that point of view, England have to be in a position to bat whatever they're given. The deficit gets put to one side. This is about pink ball cricket. The deficit gets put to one side. England have to be in a position to still be batting probably an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes into day 4. If they're doing that, they're winning the game. They've got a chance to win the game. It comes down to time now. So England are probably going to bat from about an hour in day 3. They have to bat for, it won't be 90, a full day's cricket. It's not 90 overs anymore. It isn't. It's ridiculous. I mean, we've just had, 80 overs there? So England have to be...
That's quite a few.
That's quite a few. So
that's
for me, England
the
have
most.
to be
It's probably the most we've had in a day.
They're going to have to bat 90 overs. That's what they have to do. And what that 90 overs means, if they go at 4.5 and over, they'll not go much more than that like they did in the first innings. But if England can be batting for 90 overs, it means when Australia come to bat, it means the lights are going to be probably taking full effect. If you think England are going to bat from sort of an hour and a bit into tomorrow, and then if you propel the game forward, irrespective of how many England are behind, if England can get the ball in their hand just before the first break on day 4, all of a sudden, even if Australia need 150 to win, England can make inroads in that period and go for the jugular, go for broke, and try and bowl Australia out in the best time possibly to bowl with a brand new pink ball. So even with a deficit, it comes down to how long can England bat to make the game more uncomfortable for Australia when they come to try and win the game, 4th innings.
Yeah.
But if Australia are still batting at the first break tomorrow, then you worry that the game could be finished tomorrow night.
Yeah, and see, this is the problem, isn't it? Because Jofra Archer's bowled 20 overs today. Gus Atkinson has bowled 18. Bryden Carse looked at, they all looked dead on their feet, 17 overs.
But it's Test cricket, John. Test cricket.
I know it's
we
Test.
all did that.
Exact. No, you're missing my point here. 17 to Stokes. The point is they bowled these overs, right? Now they need to rest. Okay? They have to rest. It's no point England bowling Australia out tomorrow and with a lead of 60, right? To take that all day long, 70, 75. Let's just say 75. And then just smashing it around everywhere and setting Australia a lead of, or a target of that 150 that you're talking about, if the bowlers only get 50 overs to rest up. They have to have some time to rest up. We're getting loads of reaction here, as you can imagine. Mac says, please look at how South Africa play Test cricket. They've just beaten India in India. They beat Australia at Lord's. Brisbane is just approaching 10 o'clock at night right now from Slackboy. Thank you for that. Michael Taylor says, all this Bazball rubbish. This is a great point, by the way, right? All this Bazball rubbish, Australia have shown how Test cricket should be played. Partnerships and not throwing your wicket away. This is a point I was pushing out there on talkSPORT today. Now, not allowing for the drop chances, which did help their cause. 77 runs for the first wicket. 69 for the second wicket. 50 for the third wicket. 95 for the fourth wicket. Then we had those 2 wickets in and over, and it all went a little bit awry. And then they put on best part of 30-odd for the 6th wicket. And here we are at stumps. And how much have they put on? As my scoreboard just disappears, they put on about 40 or 50 for the 7th wicket. And if you look down the card, Travis Head, double figures, Jake Weatherall's double figures, Labuschagne, double figures, Smith, double figures, Green, double figures, Carey, double figures, English, double figures. And this is the point I was making yesterday, Harmy, when I said, I'm not sure about that score, I don't think that's a good score. Because any score which features 3 ducks in the top 7 and then another guy scoring 138 kind of suggests something to me that that pitch isn't quite as bad as the one that we were kind of expecting. And so it's proven today. And if not for that brain fade, by the way, from Cameron Green, as we say, I think Australia are ahead of this. In terms of the bowlers, though, today, who impressed you the most?
But Atkinson had the control without really looking, I think, threatening.
I thought, just to jump in there, I thought Atkinson bowled brilliantly for a first change bowler.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he comes with that, if he bowls that line and the length, it was the length and the line, you know, and he goes 0 for 55 from 17 overs as first change bowler, you think, yeah, fair. Unfortunately, he's not the first change bowler, is he?
No, he's not. But I think he needs a newer ball to get the ball to move, off the pitch. He's not a swing bowler. He's a sort of line bowler.
Yeah.
And he needs a newer ball, and it's the brand new sort of pronounced seam to get him some sort of assistance. So I thought Gus bowled well without any luck, but without threatening massively. I thought Carse bowled some wicket-taking balls. You got to remember, Bryden gets asked to bowl to a plan.
Yeah.
And that short ball plan in Australia, with them fields, they're massive fields. They're huge fields to defend in Australia, to try and get your fielders in the right place. And constantly getting 1, 2, 3 off each delivery, going at sort of 6s and 7s and over. He ran in and he kept going. Archer looked down again. He didn't look good on pace towards the end when you really need him, when you need your premier weapon, fast bowler, to come bang at the end, last 5 overs.
I suppose if Travis Head's caught for 3 and Michael Neser goes for 6 and Archer's got a 3 for, you might think slightly different about his bowling figures, right?
But I was looking at Jofra's last throws.
Yeah,
he bowled 129 to 135 until Michael Neser hit him down the ground, and he bowled him 2 bounces at 140, and then went back to 137.
I found that strange as well. Those 3 bounces to Neser, I just thought, first one, terrific bouncer, and then target the stumps. Here, I've got a question for you. We're just running up to the end of the show. Who said this, Harmy? We need to be braver, and we need to get the ball up there. We were a little bit short with the ball. We didn't challenge them enough, and they left very well again, which is something that they did in the first test as well. I'll give you a clue. It was after...
Did he bat for a long time in the first innings?
Yeah, he did. 4 years ago. Joe Root talking about Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson in the Adelaide pink ball test match. And that was flying through my mind in that first session where Atkinson and Archer both bowled some wicket-taking deliveries, and they bowled well, hostile, forced... But too short. It all looks good, but they were being beaten past the outside edge on the back foot.
The cameras panned onto Joe a couple of times, and you could see he was frustrated. He was frustrated when Stokes was getting cramp, and I think you could read his lips and basically saying, "Get him off."
Yeah.
And you could see that Joe was getting frustrated, standing at slip. I just think England's plan today, right? We drop catches. That's self-explanatory. We've seen it. We've commented on it. I just look at England's bowling plan to the fields that were setting, to everything that was going with preparation that I've talked about. England just didn't look 100% with it, whether it was lines and lengths, whether it was having a plan, executing it, whether it was having a feel to a plan and executing it. Stinks of, again, comes back to the fact what I said right at the very start, half an hour ago. When you go to get prepared, right? This is probably the first time it's come home to roost that England were nowhere near prepared for this Test series, and today it's cost them. And come back again, the ball 73 overs. They look as though they've had 3 days in the field. That for me worries me with 3 Test matches to go.
Well, sorry, without meaning to sound wise after the event, again, that Will Jack, I know he pulled off a great catch, and he scored 19. He bowled 1 over today. 1 over. This was always going to be the risk. And it might change. He might take some wickets in the 4th innings. He may score 60, 70 just when England need it, right? But as things stand right now, that decision has not paid off. And I hope it does, because I like Will Jacks. And that catch was terrific. And he's a kind of a player that you like to see play. Can I throw another one in there?
Yeah.
Jai Richardson. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays it in the next Test match at Adelaide. He took wickets today against the Lions. He is quality. And I think if Australia do win this game, I think Cummins will come back and Lyon will come back. But Hazelwood is out of the next Test and almost certainly out of the MCG, which is a real shame, because for him personally, it's a real shame, right?
It sounds like he's out for the series. I heard him
sounds like
talk on 7. He was. It sounds like he's out for the series.
I think so. Anyway, Harvey, look, we're going to be back tomorrow. I mean, today's been eventful. Yesterday was ridiculous. I mean, we've had 4 exceptionally dramatic days of this Test series. We just want some more of it, and we want England. We need England to fight back. So hopefully that's exactly what will take place on day 3 at least we've got day 3. But you think it might be over tomorrow. It could be over tomorrow. Who knows? What I do know is that we'll be back. Thanks for joining us here on Following On talkSPORT 2, the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. And this will be available, if you're just finding us right now, will be available very shortly on the Following On podcast feed. Bye for now.
No-nonsense sports coverage.
Oh, he's going all the way.
This is talkSPORT 2.